Hello, everyone. It's me, Andrew. Sorry that I didn't go on live earlier today. I stayed up way too late working, and we've been getting ready for a show, and I've been super, super duper tired and worn out, and as you can see, making me break out. But anyways, I needed to rest and recover, so I took a little bit of a nap, and we're here now. So I thought it might be nice to show you some of the things that we've been working on, and one of the things that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to flip the camera around really pretty soon. Hopefully, you all had a good day out there this week, or good start to your week. It was beautiful here in Ligonier. It was relatively warm. I never thought I would say that 40 degrees is warm, but it was super sunny and delightful. Um, and so I got a lot of work done in the studio, which I'm going to show you. I see Sandra's watching. Hey, Sandra. You also may notice that the camera is a little bit wavy gravy. And that is because we're going to take you on a field trip. So I'm holding it. So I'm going to flip this around real quick. So you're going to see the ceiling. There's Williams here.
Making an entrance.
I know.
Almost knocking over all the rubies.
Hey, can you move that so that they're not directly in the path? So one of the things that we did last night, which we did an experiment, was we went on YouTube, and there's these things that are popular now. They're kind of like study sessions that are popular on YouTube right now. And instead of studying, because we're not really in school or anything, not to say that you can't study if you're not in school, but we thought it might be nice if you got a sneak peek in the studio. So there are these work with me sessions or work with us sessions. What I don't have you figured out a name that we're gonna call it?
I put them in a playlist called Work With Us, I think.
So it's gonna be called Work With Us. And basically, we're just gonna set up a camera, and you can kind of just watch us work.
You know how when you start talking about things and you start hearing about other things, we started doing this just yesterday, and we were thinking about it for a while, and then
That's William, by the way.
Hi everybody, and I was listening to a podcast today while I was working, and this woman that I listened to called the Gold Digger. And she was talking about people with ADHD and how they like to have other people in the room or other people doing work at the same time to help encourage them to continue doing work. And that's the same thing I've been talking about, is that sometimes it's nice to have people, like I like a TV on, to feel like I have people around when I'm doing something. And I think I have a little ADHD. I think I always have. But it was just interesting that she brought that up, and I was like, oh, that totally makes sense why I like these kind of videos. So we're trying them.
Yeah. So if you, we have a couple more people watching. Cindy's watching. Marianne's watching. Hey, y'all.
Hello, everybody.
So I don't know if you all got a chance to watch or see that we posted that video.
Some of our friends did.
I thought it was okay. You know, it was nice. You get to, I mean, I'm working anyway, so it doesn't do anything. It's not, you know, it doesn't take any skin off my back. Now, at first, I thought it had to be like entertaining while we were doing these videos.
No.
And that I can't do. Like, because it takes so much energy to do live presentations and do videos.
Yeah, this is
So
almost 3 hours. I can't imagine. We go live sometimes for 2, but going 3 and entertaining and chatting and no.
I could do it, but I think I would
You
be.
wouldn't have worked all night then after that.
I couldn't have got anything done hardly. So it's nice. We're gonna play with camera angles and different things like that. You know, some will be closer, some will be further back. So you never know what you're gonna get. Also, it depends on if William's doing it or if I'm doing it. Marianne says, I watched today and still didn't do anything. LOL. That's funny. Yeah, one of our friends, Jenny, was watching it and she said that she stayed and worked an extra hour more than she would have normally.
Because we were working with her.
Yeah, we were working together. I said, you should just come over.
I know, right? Drive on over.
I mean, it's not that convenient. All right, so this is what I worked on, which is it's very rough still yet. So I took this drawing of the vascular system, and this is for one of my showpieces that I'm working on. And so I sawed all of this out. It's called piercing when you cut out the little inner parts, which is called pain in the butt because all these pieces are so little that they kind of want to go everywhere. And then I backed it with this bigger piece, and I'm gonna have to, and then solder this down. And so I'm gonna have to go around and saw this out again. And then I'm gonna have some other stuff going on.
What's this gonna be?
So you're gonna have to wait and see.
Even I don't know, everybody.
The concept of this is called the wallflower.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be flowers, obviously.
Obviously, that's not so obvious.
Obviously. All right, so that's what I worked on last night and today. Part of it, I like to have several projects going on at once, so that I don't waste time. I've got little sections set up. And you may, if you watched the video last night, you may have seen it in action where I was jumping from one station to the next to another thing.
We both were.
And so that was what we were up to last night. So we're going to keep doing these. We might do one tonight while we work. We've got some. We've got to still make things for the Handmade Arcade, which is coming up. December 2nd is the preview night, and December 3rd is the night of, so or the day of, and we need to build up inventory for it.
We're creating a whole new collection.
So there's a lot of work that we can do. Normally I can fudge it because I just drag the beads in and they say, let's just make whatever. But they apparently is super busy and you have to make everything. So
yeah, we ain't got time for that.
Yeah,
we got the time right now.
So we're working on, like y'all do if you do shows.
Yeah, lots of them out there do shows.
A couple more people have tuned in.
Thank you for tuning in. Hit that share button, everybody.
Yeah, we
subscribe, share. We had a few people saying, "Oh, I didn't realize I wasn't subscribed to you on YouTube."
Yeah, there's a couple
do it,
people.
Everybody. Go do it, everybody. Pressure. This is peer pressure.
William's good about that. I'm like, whatever. And he's like, don't say that. And I was like, oh well.
You don't want people to watch you put that out into the world. Don't put that energy out there.
My energy is my tribe will find me. You will find your tribe and your
they find us, but they may not subscribe to us.
Well,
YouTube doesn't know.
My loyal people will be there. Only posers will.
Posers.
Never mind. He's gonna get me sass factor 5, y'all.
I know.
Shut your sass hole, William.
Shut your sass hole. I'm not being sassy.
All right, I'm trying to talk. So, on a less than funny note, some of the if you've been paying attention to current events, there was a shooting in Colorado, and I'm trying to raise money for a donation to send. I made this necklace earlier this summer with the Love is Love kit from Softlex. So I'm auctioning this off on my personal timeline. So it's me holding Babette as a picture for that.
And I shared it on mine.
Yeah, but I think it only shows up on mine, the comment. So if you comment on that on my
original
post. Because if you don't, then I won't see it maybe. And then
unless you bid $1 million, then it counts. We'll make it count.
If you have $1 million and bid it, if you're just joking, then that doesn't count.
Right.
But anyway, so I have that. The starting bid is $25. Our friend Julie Katz has bid on it. So whoever gets it by Friday night at midnight, then we're gonna make a donation. And yeah, that's a way that we can help out. So I hope people like that necklace. I mean, if you don't like the necklace and still want to contribute, you can still contribute. If you go to that post, you can see the GoFundMe. It's for the victims and their families, for their recovery expenses, and for the people who were injured, and then funeral expenses for the 5 people who were murdered. And then I don't know if any of the money is going to go to the bar that they were gunned down in, because I know that can be hard on business after you have to recover from something like that. So, anyways, this is our way of helping out. And we're working on a new kit. While I'm thinking about things that we're doing, that kit's going to debut tonight. And it's going to be something that's not related to this at all, besides the fact that it was made from a kit. So I don't know what I'm talking about, but there's going to be a new kit tonight, so keep an eye out for that. What we're going to do now is we're going to go on the field trip. All right. So I'm going to turn this camera up, and then you can follow William. Hi, this is William. This is Star Cottage Studio. It's a mess right now. We're moving stuff around. I know, but it's a particular mess, except in one area. Here's our pellet stove.
It's keeping us nice and toasty.
It is, so we're going to keep moving because I'm roasting a little. All right, so this is going to be a shorter video because we have work to do, which if we do one of those videos, y'all will see it. You didn't put your apron on, William.
I know, you didn't give me time yet. Let me go do that.
You can put my apron on for now.
Fine. I'll be right back.
So we're going to show you how we prep our enamels. And it says, your messy studio is still more organized than mine. I love Star Cottage Studio. It's a work in progress. I think it's a work in progress.
It's beautiful. I love it here.
Sure, it's great. But it still needs more work, is what I'm saying.
It always will. Everything does.
No, eventually we'll get to the point where
he has a very nice space.
Yeah. So eventually it'll get where everything has its home and it will be a little bit easier to do stuff. All right. So here's William. He's wearing, you don't have your glasses either.
Huh? I don't do glasses for this part.
I do.
I don't do glasses. I'm not doing anything with these glasses.
That's what you think. And then something flies in your eyeball hole.
So we start with this, everybody. This is one of our blanks.
So either we buy them or we cut them out ourselves. If we cut them out, we use this thing. It's a disc cutter. I didn't show this because it's super loud.
Yeah.
And so
I have this today.
He's got. Nancy says looks big. My studio is big. It's 2,500 square feet.
The whole building is 2,500 square feet.
But I have to share with Barb, so.
So he gets a little piece. That little piece you saw out there.
So it's not all mine.
And someday he'll share with me, but
maybe we're sharing now.
sharing now.
He's becoming a metalsmith, whether he likes it or not, y'all.
That's what he says. So,
I thought I like it, actually. It's nice.
I like enameling so far. So this, we start with this. Now, then we have to take this and we put a hole in it first.
Yeah, they don't come with holes.
Right. And when you punch them yourself, they don't come with holes.
So you have to add a hole. Now, this is 18 gauge copper, so it's thicker copper.
Thicker. Now, if you were to, because you can't enamel this first and then put a hole, you break the glass. So you got to put a hole first.
Yeah, it chips it.
So you can, as Andrew showed me, you can mark where you're going to put your hole.
Show them this pen. This is my favorite pen.
Identapen.
It doesn't show up because you put your hand back behind. That's my favorite pen, y'all.
It has two ends.
The fine end and the less fine end. But the reason why I like that is because it doesn't wipe off. I do a technique when I'm doing the on the metal generally. I do a drawing technique, and sometimes if you draw with like a Sharpie works well for a lot of things, but sometimes it can wipe off, especially if you're handling it a lot. So
I precisely eyeballed that.
yeah, he precisely eyeballed the hole, or where the hole will be, and made a mark.
And then we use this.
This is called the center punch. Now, they have a thing called an auto punch that you can use. We have one. I saw it, but we do it old school because I don't want to wear out my auto punch. Not for production.
He doesn't want to wear out his tools. So you put this on the dock. Very easy. You take the little hammer.
Now, this is a junky hammer.
But look how fancy that is to fit in your hand.
He says that the $8 hammer is fancy. That's not a fancy hammer. That's a junky hammer. And the reason why there's a junky hammer is that the face, I mean, you don't have to spend a lot of money on a hammer to have a good hammer. You do sometimes, depending on what you're doing. But the face of the hammer is messed up. Show it. So it's chewed up. So if he hits something, it's not like like if he used my other hammers that are over there, I would we would have a domestic violence because they're, for one, you wouldn't be able to make a mark on that one like that. They are polished and they're for a specific purpose.
So I'm going to use the junky hammer.
You can also use a brass hammer, which is designed. This is a brass hammer. You can use that as well.
We're going to use this one.
Yeah, the brass hammer is soft metal, so it absorbs the shock. So that's why if your brass hammer gets chewed up, somebody's like, oh my gosh, this brass hammer, I could use a house hammer and it doesn't get as chewed up as quickly. And it's like the hammer is designed for that. That's for stamping usually. But anyway, so here we go.
Okay, so I'm going to take the hammer. I'm going to hit this like a few times.
You don't even have to hit it that much.
But I do. I do it 3 times. Every time.
The reason you don't want to hit it too hard because if it goes through the metal, it will hit the anvil and then you will have a dull.
Sad times.
You can sharpen it again, but you have to sharpen it so don't go all the way through the metal because if the steel hits the steel, then you're dulling it. It's going to be blunt and then it's going to be no good.
So I do 3 times because it doesn't go through. That's the back. And we have that. And then we come over here.
Now you have to put your glasses.
I know. I have my whole helmet over here.
Safety, y'all.
My whole helmet over here. And I have my mask here. My mask. So I don't breathe in particulates.
There you go.
And my helmet, everybody. Now, do we put on the... Ooh, it's on there already.
So we have, even though we built these tables and they're like work tables, I don't want to put a whole bunch of holes in our tables, so we put a board.
Who wants holes in your table?
Some people do. You look, some of the studios I've been in to work in. So he's doing now is he's adding burl life to the bit, and that is a lubrication that will help it drill better. So
this is just simple drilling.
yeah, so
Bracing it.
he's bracing it with his hand.
You line it up and set it on there.
And up and down, perpendicular to the table.
And then we gotta get this in the right spot.
And
that's it.
That's it. But it's
everybody.
not though. That's not it.
We made a hole, everybody.
Generally, if I don't have my flex shaft, I use a hole puncher. But this is a lot quicker.
This is so nice. I used the hole punch before, everybody.
And it takes longer, and you wear it out.
Put a hole in those. I said, if you're gonna make me do all of these, hundreds of these with the manual hole punch,
then no.
Then no, I don't know how to do that.
All right. So this is the bench. It's a grinder, and it's also a lathe for you have different wheels that you can put on, and we're going to be using a coarse wheel. It's called Bright Boy, He-Man Bright Boy.
So what we're doing is we're taking the burr that was made from the drill going through off of this side. We're just grinding that up.
And if you didn't hear what he said through his mask and face shield,
and
he's
the thing blowing here.
And our air filter. He said that when you punch the hole, it leaves a burr or a sharp little bit on the one side, and what we're doing now is we're grinding that off.
Just a little bit.
So old school, when I teach people how to do metalsmithing and when I've been taught it, we did not use this. We used a file and sandpaper.
That's how I used to do it.
And I still do it for when I don't have access to this, or if I just need something real quick. And by quick, I mean not quick. So this is our soldering station. Yes. So you have to switch it. Oh. So he's switching the head now. And yeah, you don't want that too small. That's too small. It's like Goldilocks. It has to be just right. All right. So he's getting. This is. Did you turn the fan on? Oh, is it? Mm-hmm. All right. So that's an electric starter. So we're annealing. We're annealing, and this is normally when you anneal metal, it's so that you can make it softer. But for this purpose is to make it so that the surface is ready for enameling. All right. Okay. So he's turning the torch on and starting it up. And then just going around until it gets to a dull red. Now when you do it, you don't want to over anneal it. So it shouldn't be, that's good. Mm-hmm. And eventually I'm going to have my the stand set. So he's got these tweezers that have a little wood part. Those are cross-locking tweezers. If you're not used to them, I suggest you play with it before, because it's not intuitive, the feeling of doing that.
So normal tweezers, you squeeze and they come together.
Yeah.
These you squeeze and they come apart. So if you let go, you're still holding on to everything.
Yeah. All right. And so he dumped it in that cup.
In the water.
It has the unfortunate looking stain on the side. I don't know what that is.
Looks, the metal pieces.
No, on the other side, it looks like somebody took a dookie on the rim.
Oh, right here.
Yeah. Oh wow. This is a working studio.
Yeah, who's gonna look at that?
Me and all of our friends on the internet.
I'll tell you if you have something to say about that. I'll say, show me your studio.
All right. So then he's going to take this, and I have a paper towel over there. So one thing that I do is I do not use the tweezers when I'm carrying it over to the other section. And the reason why is if you put steel in the pickle pot, it will contaminate your pickle pot, and it will cause it to have will become like a electroplater.
Bad times.
So, I mean, we're just working with copper.
The whole bowl because we have a ton of them at once.
So we're going to go over to the pickle pot. Now you're going to say, why are we have to go so far away? And the reason why is because I used to be in a very small studio, and my studio was in our spare bedroom, and it was such a small studio space that now when you're lifting the lid, you lift it away from you so that the steam doesn't go in your face. And I mean, William's got his face shield and stuff, but this is when you don't have a face shield and a mask on, you want it so you don't get like that, so the steam doesn't go up into your eyes. You know how normally, like, it's like when you're opening a thing of pasta or whatever, boiling water, and you don't want this to be too hot, but so it's set on low. All right. So he's gonna let that sit in the pickle, and
we have finished one somewhere, right?
I think so. So he's going to let that sit in the pickle, and the pickle is a low-level acid. This is the kind of chemical that they use to clean pools. So it is an acid, but the reason why we have it so far away, I never finished that thought, is because the acid will cause steel to rust. So I do not want that anywhere near my fancy hammers or my metal stakes.
Highly polished hammers and anvils.
Because they will not be highly polished if they get in contact with that. So it's important that there is like clean water on the sides so that when he's done, when he takes it out of the pickle, then he can dunk it in the water and clean the acid off. And I don't know if it's had enough time to get hot enough to do anything or not. Now is the fun part where he plays Go Fish.
It's like that grip game. What do they call it? The claw game. So,
yeah. Oh. And he's only using copper tongs, y'all.
It's dark in there. You can't see.
We probably need a new.
So it didn't clean off this side yet. When you're done, you put it in the water, and then it goes for a soap bath.
So if it isn't cleaning one side, that could be because it's on the bottom and it's not getting as much surface area to the acids.
We mix it around.
So you mix them around every once in a while. And we probably need a new solution because we've been making so many blanks.
True.
All right. So we're gonna follow him back into the other room, and he's gonna show you how we do something.
Hey, where are the blanks?
Oh, from that we cleaned last night. They're in the rainbow bag over there, and they're uh um in that towel. Yeah, be careful with that. Just bring it all.
Okay.
So these ones, he's gonna be a bit careful not to touch the faces and put oils onto it, because we took these home and used the sink there and used the soap to wash off any extra residue and oils. Um, so that's a good way to do that. We don't have a sink here right now currently, so I think one of my next things is getting one of those freestanding sinks that you can get, by the porta potties. And so he's got this blank, and it's been washed.
Do you want to show this?
I guess.
Okay.
The kiln's not to temperature though, so we can't actually show that.
No, we'll pretend.
All right, so he's tearing off the shiny news or magazine paper. I like to do one this way and one the other way. That way, if you have any overage or spillage or whatever, and I'm wrapping my face with my scarf, so normally you want to make sure you don't breathe this in.
Yeah, that's why I wear this. I don't always wear this while doing it, but
That's that N95 mask.
yeah. Okay.
All right. This is a counter enamel. And when it's done, it looks like this. And this is underdone on purpose. You may say, oh, it looks like orange peel. And orange peel is a texture. It's got that texture to it, like an orange peel skin. And that's done on purpose because these go into the kiln so many times with the process that we're doing. So he's got the sifter, and that's an 80 mesh sifter, and he's just adding this to it.
And we talked about, I think, counter enamel the last video. Was it the last video? Where we talked about we use the counter enamel so the metal doesn't bend as you're putting enamel on the other side.
Because it does.
Yes. With that 65 coefficient?
96.
96? See, I don't know.
It depends on the enamel too. Because some of it's 80, some of it's 96.
Okay, so this is the little sifter. This is the enamel. This is just a powdered glass, right? And we use a penny, because otherwise my fingernail falls off. And you just scrape this so that the enamel falls through. It's kind of like powdered sugar. You know when you have those things? Anybody have those things that do the powdered sugar?
The sifter.
The sifters. My grandmother had one of those.
And now we have it.
And now we have it. And I go around the edge, I go in the middle.
Now, I used to put a clear fire down as like a glue, which you have to do with some things. But I was having problems where there were air bubbles happening, and I think that's from doing that. So,
Yeah, clear fire, it's like a glue that holds the first layer on so that it doesn't fall off. But we found that we don't need to do it with these.
no.
And they come out a lot better when we don't.
Yeah, so if we don't have to do it, then don't do it.
Right.
So this is the trivet, and the trivet is a metal thing that he's going to use. I think you're going to have to use the other one.
I just wanted to bring this one to show them because this has multiple things, and you covered it in
the secret.
So that these don't stick.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a proprietary secret.
Is it?
Yeah. I paid good money for that secret. Y'all don't get everything for free. Sorry.
Otherwise,
Go take Laura Markley's class.
Otherwise, you got that one.
Which also works. The thing about this is everybody. So I've taken a bunch of enameling classes at this point, and everybody has a secret of how not to leave trivet marks. And I think if you do all of those things, then you can almost get away without having any marks.
Yeah, because you're working with glass, right? So it's going to always imprint.
Well, the glass gets molten and is like sticky, like a sticky candy, basically, like a hard. Yeah, and so when it gets hot, it will leave an impression of whatever is inside or touching it. So then this gets put in the kiln.
This goes over here.
When this is hot, he uses the spatula. I made this spatula, by the way, y'all.
You did, but this, I never bring it over to the table hot, so I don't need that there. But then, look.
I made that.
Andrew made that.
With the power hammer.
And then this was under
like
here.
That. And he puts safety glasses on.
Yes, there are actual other glasses.
Be careful.
Stay there, spatula.
So
I take this off, and I use these green glasses to keep all those, I guess, infrared heat rays out of my eyeballs.
So we don't get the cataracts.
Don't want that. So then, this goes, we pick it up, we open the door quick, we shove it in the oven, close it. 2 minutes, everybody.
Kiln y'all.
It's like an oven.
Easy bake oven, actually.
Right. Shove it in there. 2 minutes is all it takes.
It depends. So
for what we're doing, 2 minutes.
So it takes the general timing is about 2 minutes. However, you are your best judge about if it's finished or not. So depending on what you're doing, if you want it to have a sugar coat, then you would put it in less time. If you wanted to have orange peel, you want it less time. We're under firing these slightly. So that by the time we go and we do all of the layers and stuff, it doesn't get overcooked.
Yeah, we're doing about 2 minutes a layer, which that he showed you that he's saying still has the orange peel has been in 4 minutes already.
Yeah, so but
it's gonna have at least another cooking.
And we set that kiln. It's usually at 450 to 475. I set it higher because with the other techniques that I'm doing, you need to set it higher. So
450.
1450.
I was gonna say 450. That's like an oven.
I know. No, it's not 450. It's 1450, y'all. 1450. So it's not actually going to do it because it takes a while to ramp up, as you can see.
We've been here, almost an hour? It's just now getting close.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Then it comes out of there, and then it cools down.
Yeah, we have an area here off to the side. It's like the waiting area. And the waiting area, that's where all the pieces that need to be cool will be cooled.
And then they come over here.
And then they go over here. They go back to this area.
They don't have any done that way.
So when they come out of the kiln, on one side, when the copper oxidizes, it's called fire scale. If you look up fire scale and you look up in old jewelry books, you may get confused because some people call fire stain fire scale, and that is in sterling silver when the copper raises to the surface and it looks like a bruise. That's what we call nowadays fire stain. But some people call that fire scale, and it's very confusing when it doesn't look like the other thing. But it's basically like a black crusty flake that's on the back.
It was too efficient yesterday.
So we have all of it done.
I have them all sanded. Anyway, it comes out like with a red and a black on the back.
Yeah.
And then we use these little
These are called snap-on discs.
little sanding discs.
I said, where was this all my life? Because normally we have to do this by hand and with the sanding and the file. I said, how come everybody hates me? But that's just the way you do it. It's just the way that you learn, I guess. But this is the way you clean up the backs so that you can uh, do it. Now he's using his finger to hold it, and generally you don't want to transfer any oils to the surface of the clean metal.
But my hands are so dry. We have not had a problem yet.
Not yet. So, and like anything with enameling is weird where there's always something that will go wrong. I don't know. Maybe there's enamelists that they get it perfect every time. I have not reached that level. So there's always at least one thing that always goes wrong.
You've been lucky.
Because I got it, William. The one with the portrait brooch that I'm making, there was one spot that came up, and so I had to patch it, and then another spot came up, had to patch that. So yeah. So I always feel like you make more than you need, and um then that way you always you have what you need.
Hundreds.
Yeah, 100. We have to build up components to take to the show. Yeah. All right, so then he would clean up that area.
You want to do it?
No, because
so this gets cleaned up. It gets dumped back in here because you can reuse this. That's why we use these because it slides right off.
And then you throw it away, but don't throw it away because you have more.
Doing more. It's going to go in there and then it throws away. And then you get out the next one that we're going to use.
But don't open it because then you get cross contamination.
And then you do the other side.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be like this off-white color. Which I don't know. Maybe we'll try some different colors too. There's a beautiful robin's egg that's kind of a pretty color.
But you want to show the goal?
This is on. This is not the best example. So I did a clear layer on top of the copper, so you can see the copper underneath. And then I did black on top, so it's almost like a 3D effect.
So we're doing the white where the copper is.
Yeah, so it's a little bit more contrasty. But you can see there's like a ridge of bubbles in the light. If you look real carefully, you can see there's a ridge of bubbles. And I think that's from the clear fire.
Yeah. Hopefully we won't have that issue.
No, because we didn't use it.
So far, we're not.
I used it on one piece, but I think it'll be fine.
I'm echoing in my head.
All right. Everybody. So that's what we did last night.
And the night before.
And the night before, but we did on the YouTube. If you watched
We're gonna do it tonight on YouTube.
Yeah.
For a little while. I'm tired, y'all.
Me
I'm not gonna
too.
Be here as late as, and Andrew's not gonna be here as late as he was. Like 4 p.m. today.
Don't worry about it. Maybe it happened. I don't have to be on the TV tomorrow, so I can stay up however late. Though I did look in the mirror, and it looked like a cat had scratched my face up. So I need to look young and pretty. So this not sleeping business is not going to cut it.
Can get face touched.
Okay, I'll get it, but I have to just sell a lot more pendants.
I know, right? All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We're going to be on YouTube only. YouTube only, because we can stream at a higher quality if we just go to YouTube only. I know I'm almost haloed. So we're going to go YouTube only on the Work With Us. So why don't you work with us? If you have something to do, get in your workshop, get in your studio, get on your dining room table, set us up, and we'll all work together. No talking, no chatting.
You can chat amongst yourselves.
You can chat in the thing.
But I'm not going to say anything.
We should all be too busy to chat.
We are, at least. somebody was like, "How come nobody's zoom in?" And I was like, "That's not this kind of video.
That's not what this is. It's not
That
a tutorial.
that's not what this is. This is just
all
hangout,
just hanging out,
and not hangout. It's more like observation.
It's like
Twitch.
Like my podcast person said, she has her office door open, her associate has their office door open, and they can see each other and know they're working, but they don't come in.
Correct.
They don't bother each other. That's how it is. Just pretend we're in the next room over, and we're working in our studio, and you're working in yours.
It's like that thing called Twitch. You know what they do? So this
he knows all about Twitch. I've never used Twitch in my life.
The Twitch is for people who play video games, and you watch people play video games.
Yeah,
and I watched this. I was like, you can't even see what's happening on the screen sometimes.
Max likes it.
I know, and I was like, but with crafting, I can see with crafting because you get to see inside somebody's studio. Otherwise, you just see somebody like, ooh, I did good. Killed a bad person on the video game.
Usually, I think the people watching are playing too.
No, they're just random people.
Together.
Random people watching each other.
That's weird.
No, if you like it, good for you.
I watch people unbox things. So
he does. When the Apple product comes out, we watch every one of them. I can tell you what the features are by the end of it, and I'm not even a tech person. I like to see
the new colors of stuff. I got to see it in person.
That's good.
Because we don't got an Apple store, but an hour and a half away.
My thing is, I watched one video about it, and I'm like, okay, that's good. But
unless it's chasing in repousse or enameling, and then he watches.
That's different because everybody does something different. So then you have to watch it so that you learn the secrets of the universe. But if it's the same thing, they just say the same. No, I watch a multitude of people. I watch all the people. Don't worry. He's trying to shame me. Like
I'm not. I'm just turning it around.
Anyways, this is going the Great Beat Extravaganza, so we can't tell everybody I watch.
Different interests.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. We're going to go and get set up now for the next video that you can watch us work. Or work with us, more like it. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Hi.